everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be trying, well, I got a set of manga off of eBay, like a bunch of volume 1s. So I decided I was going to do a video where I read all of these and said whether I like them or whether I'm going to continue them and stuff like that. Here we go. Yeah, I found this set on eBay where it contained all of these together, so I've already read all of these. I'm going to go through them in the order that I read them and talk about what they're about, whether I enjoyed them and whether I'm going to continue them. So this is basically about trying first volumes. So first up, I'm going to put these down somewhere and go through them in order. Anyway, I'm going to put these on the floor. Anyway, the first volume that I read was Tale of the Moon by Rinko Wader, and I have read Stepping on Roses Volume 1 by this author before, so I was familiar with her. And this is a ninja adventure series. It's about this girl here on the front. Her name is Usagi, and she is training to become a ninja, but her great-grandfather realises that she's not cut out to be a ninja. She's very clumsy, she's a bit ditzy as well. So he decides the best thing to do was to send her off to another clan so she can marry this guy here who is called Hanzo and have his babies. Anyway, so she gets sent off, she meets Hanzo, but Hanzo says he has no intention whatsoever of marrying her, but he agrees that she can stay in his village until she passes her ninja exam and becomes a full-fledged ninja. And I really, really loved this volume. It was so good. I like the art style. Let me find. There. The art style in this one I really liked. I liked her art style in Stepping on Roses as well. It was definitely a fun read. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, the main girl could get a little bit annoying at times, but not too much. And there's also this little boy as well who follows her around, who's kind of her assistant. Let me find him. There, you can see him there. So yeah, I really liked the characters and the way the story's going. You find out whether she manages to become a ninja or convince Hanzo to actually marry her. She doesn't realise why Hanzo is refusing to marry her, because there's this other girl as well who he's also refusing to marry. And this volume ended on a cliffhanger as well. And I'm definitely interested in reading more. I love this. I gave it an 8 out of 10, or 4 stars. It was very good. Although I did expect that I would probably like it, due to me liking her other series. Yeah, I do recommend you give this one a go. If you don't mind your female protagonists to be on the weaker side, I would definitely recommend this one. And I'm definitely going to be continuing this, although I do believe some, if not all of the I don't think all are out of print, but I think volume 2 might be out of print. So I'm going to have to try and find the rest of the volumes for this, because I'm very interested in reading more and continuing it. Most of the volumes are available from Book Depository. It's just 2, I think 7 and 13. This is a 15 volume long series, by the way. Anyway, I really enjoyed this one. Next one I have is Everyone's Getting Married, and this is by Azumi Miyazono. And this is also a M-rated one. It's going to get smutty, which is not in this first volume, but it will get there. This is about this girl. She's 25, I think. Azuka Takanashi, and she really wants to get married and become a housewife and like look after the house and her husband and all that. She like really wants to be a traditional housewife. She's currently working in like an office job, and she's at her friend's wedding where she meets Ryu Nanami, who is a radio personality. This guy here. And soon after the wedding, she expects that her boyfriend is going to propose to her, but he ends up breaking up with her instead, so she's left like heartbroken and annoyed because they've been together for like 7 years. Anyway, she meets up with Rio again, and she starts to become interested in Rio, but then Rio mentions that he has no intention of ever getting married. It's not for him. He does not like the idea of it, so now the two of them, like, one of them really wants to get married and the other one really doesn't. There's also this other couple where the woman doesn't want to get married and the guy does. They're like a secondary couple. This reminds me, the art style and the like text, everything in this just reminds me of Happy Marriage, which is a series that I loved. I think after reading Volume 1, I do really like this, but I think I still prefer Happy Marriage. But I'm definitely going to be getting more of this one. Like I say, the art style really reminds me of Happy Marriage, even though it's a different author. And I'm very intrigued to see what happens next. And I think, what did I score this? I think I might have given this one an 8 as well. So 4 stars. This one is 9 volumes long, I think, and this is still in print. Easy to find. Definitely going to be continuing. It's super easy to get a hold of the rest of the volumes. And yeah, really looking forward to getting more of this. So this is another good one, and I'm very glad that I read it. Next up we have Ultra Maniac, and this one is one I did not think I would enjoy. I thought that it would be like my least favourite out of this entire stack, but I ended up really liking it. This is by Wataru Yoshizumi, and it's about a girl called Ayu, who I think she's in middle school, and she likes this guy. I can't remember this guy's name, but anyway, one day there's a new transfer student comes to the school who is called Nina Sakura, this girl here. And it turns out that Nina is a witch from the Magic Kingdom, and she was kicked out of the Magic Kingdom due to like her spells always going wrong, so she joins the school for humans, and her and Ayu start hanging out together, and Nina decides she's going to help Ayu out by using different spells on her, so like each chapter's like a different spell she's using to try and help Ayu out, because she's like thinks she's like the best friends. But the spells always end up going wrong, and like bad things happen, and she's always then has to try and fix what she's done. Yeah, this was a very good series, and it's very fun, and I actually ended up really enjoying this more than I thought I would. Here's some artwork. This is actually rated all ages, so anyone can read it. So yeah. Nina can get a little bit annoying at times, but it's still quite funny at times as well. There's one chapter where Nina does a spell, because Ayu gets poked by this boy on a bus, and she says it's so annoying how boys keep poking her on the bus, so Nina does this spell, so it's like an anti-poking spell, but it turns out now whenever any boy touches Ayu, they get severely electrocuted. So there's one scene in here where she's trying to avoid all these boys to stop electrocuting them, and she ends up like just leaving a trail of them all along the hallway. And I can't remember what chapter that one was. I think it was chapter 2 or 3. No, it's this one here. So she ends up just leaving a trail of like corpses along the hallway. Yeah, this was a very fun volume. It's just a good time maybe, and I actually really enjoyed it. I gave it a 7, so a 3.5 stars. And it's 5 volumes complete, I do believe. It also has an anime, which I have not yet seen, but I will probably be checking that out. Next up I read Happy Hustle High by Ray Takada, and this is like an old shoujo imprint title. It's 5 volumes long, and I started reading this and I wasn't really enjoying the first half. It's about a girl called Hanabi, and she goes to an all-girls school, but then the school like has to close down due to there not being enough students, so they merge with this boys' school and become co-ed. So she meets, and she like becomes student council president and tries to get like the rules changed and stuff, and she meets this guy who's actually, he grew up like with a father and 3 brothers, so he's not used to being around girls. I cannot remember his name at all. But yeah, she meets him and she starts to like him, but I got about halfway through this volume. I was enjoying it. I got to the second half and I kind of just got a bit bored. The artwork's fine. I just kind of got a bit bored in the second half, but like the tennis match and stuff. So maybe this will pick up again in volume 2 and start to get better, but for now I did give this a 6 or 3 stars. But I don't know whether I want to get more or not. It is super easy to find the rest. In fact, I've found them all on eBay. But I'm not so sure whether I do actually want to continue with it or not. I may give it a second volume. The art style is good. I just got a bit fed up about halfway through. So I will consider volume 2 to this one, but it's not a definite. Next up I read Diora by Chika Shinomi, and this is like a supernatural shoujo involving this girl here who can see spirits and she can sense spirits' emotions. And her name's Urara, and she starts her high school, like her second year of high school, and she goes to class with these 2 boys here who can also see spirits. And she thought she was the only one, but they can see spirits too, and whenever she's in danger, she actually transforms from her usual quiet self into this woman here who's like a guardian spirit who protects her when she's in danger, and she like takes care of the spirits and stuff. And this was very good. This was like probably my second favourite out of the stack. I really, really loved this. The story was so interesting. They're like finding different spirits and like helping them move on or exercising them. And I really, really enjoyed this. The only thing I didn't really enjoy was this guy here. This guy is so annoying, and he's a bit of a butthole as well. Like, these 2 are like friends, but they're also kind of rivals. and this guy is terrified of water due to something that happened to him as a child. So this guy decides to be a complete dick and dump him in the middle of a river on this little island, and he's too scared to cross back over, and then he just leaves him there and goes back to class and falls asleep. And then Diora has to rescue him by turning into her guardian spirit. So yeah, this guy's kind of a douche, but I'm still going to read this despite that and hope that she ends up with the other one. There is also a sequel to this called Resetsu. Like, this is 5 or maybe 6 volumes long, and then Resetsu's like 9 volumes long. But I do think it's best to read this one first, although Resetsu is different characters. So yeah, I really love this, and I definitely want to be continuing this. I also gave this an 8, I do believe, or I might have knocked it down to a 7 due to this guy. I can't remember exactly, but I think I gave it an 8, or 4 stars. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely be continuing this one. I do believe I can get most of the volumes. I think volume 2 might prove difficult, but I know 3, 4 and 5 are available from the book depository. So yeah, this is a great supernatural, like, ghostly shoujo. Alright, next I read 2 left. Miss or Happy, and this is by Miki Kiritani, and this one is about a girl who has a bit of an obsession with her older sister, and her older sister has been given a marriage interview where she has to go meet this guy to see whether she wants to marry him or not, but she's not happy about that, so she's going to go to this guy's house and move in with him to see whether he is worthy of marrying her sister. But in the process, she actually ends up falling for him, and the sister ends up liking his brother instead. But this was kind of very rushed, it felt like. Like, they are together by the end of chapter 1. And the chapters are a bit just all over the place, I guess. And the chapters 2 onward were a bit better, but I do not believe I will be continuing with this one due to how rushed it felt. I wasn't the biggest fan of the story. So yeah, the art styles, again, okay. It's like an older art style. This is Tokyo Pop. I think this was either finished at 5 volumes or it was dropped after 5 volumes. I'm not 100% sure whether it was discontinued or not, or whether it's just discontinued in English. But I'm honestly not that bothered because I do not believe I'll be getting any more of this. It wasn't the worst, but it's just not for me. As I say, I don't really like rushed. I'd rather read a series that was slow paced and took a while for anything to actually happen than read something that is super rushed where things basically happen by the end of the first chapter. I've never really liked even novels. I'd never really liked novels that were rushed. I prefer a bit more slow paced. So yeah, I will not be continuing this. I think this is the hardest one to get more of anyway. So yeah, I think I gave it a 5 or possibly a 4. I don't know what that would be in terms of star rating. And the last one that I read was Recorder Diora, and this is based off a otome game. Don't know if that ever got an English release. I really like the art style in this one. This is the longest out of all of them, with 17 volumes, and I do also believe one of the hardest to find the rest of. This is a musical series about this girl. This is a music school founded by this guy who who saved this, like, music fairy. I've forgotten what the fairy's called. Like, I think he's a feta or something. That's a cheese. Yeah, I'm not sure what the fairy's breed was. Yeah, I say the art is very good in this one. And this is about this girl. What's her name? Kohoko? Did I say who wrote this? This is Yuki Kore. Anyway, she goes to, like, the general education school, which is a part of the music school. And there's a competition, like, every 2 or 3 years where they have, like, 5 or more students compete to see in this competition, and, like, the winner gets to become famous or something like that. So normally it's only music school students that can compete, but she's able to see the fairy, and anyone who's able to see the fairy also gets to compete. So, but she has no musical talent whatsoever. She's never even played an instrument. But the fairy gives her, like, this magic violin which can, like, teach her the basics, but she needs to, like, put the emotion and everything in herself in order for the music to sound good. There's the violin there. And so she's trying to... No, she actually agrees to play in this competition with these 4 other people. No, 1, 2, 3, 5 other people. There's these guys on the back here, other than this one here. He's a general education student. These 4 guys plus another girl. Okay, this girl behind her here. Compete in this competition along with her. The competition actually hasn't started as this first volume, but this first volume was very good. I very enjoyed it. Like I say, I really also like the art. So if I can find volume 2, I'll definitely be continuing this, although this is a musical series and it does have an anime, and generally musical series are better to watch than read. I do not believe it's dubbed though, but yeah, I probably will be checking out the anime for this one and trying to find the rest. This also has a sequel called Diora College Arc or something like that, but I do not believe that ever got an English release. But yeah, the art is great and the story was fun. There's this little fairy here. And yeah, the competition hasn't started yet. I'm interested to see the competition, how it goes. So I'm looking forward to finding out. So I do want to find more volumes. Hopefully I'll be able to track them down, because I have not been able to find the rest of this. They are all out of stock on the book depository. I couldn't find any of them on eBay. So hopefully I'll be able to continue this. Maybe it has a digital release, I don't know. But yeah, the art and the story's decent, and the art's too good not to continue reading this. I think I gave it a 7. There were 3.5 stars. No, anyway, that is all that I read. So out of the 7 volumes that I read, I'm definitely going to be continuing with 5 of them. This one's a maybe and this one is a no. But yeah, this was a very good buy and I really enjoyed most of these. My favourite being, as I said, Tale of the Moon. And then Urara, and my least favourite being Miss or Happy, and then Happy Hustle High. Yeah. So go check these out if you're interested and if you can find them. I do not believe any of them, other than these 2, are particularly that difficult to get a hold of. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you got a recommendation or 2, so bye for now. Now I'm due a haul next week on the first Saturday of next month. I look forward to that, and I will see you then. Goodbye.